Chapter 2. The Alchemist Within. Transforming the body's fabric. The chapter opens with an expanded image. Now, the human figure in the dynamic Tai Chi pose is surrounded by a swirling vortex of energy that seems to emanate from within their very core, highlighting the flow of Qi through the interconnected fascial network. The light within the body suggesting a vibrant inner transformation. The background transitions from a misty mountain landscape to a panoramic view of a lush, fertile valley, teeming with life, emphasizing the connection between the body's internal environment and the external world. The ancient Taoists were not content with merely mapping the pathways of Qi, tracing the meridians like subtle rivers flowing through the inner landscape. They sought to become alchemists of their own being, transforming not just the symptoms of disease, but the very fabric of their bodies and minds to achieve a state of radiant health, boundless vitality, and profound spiritual awakening. They understood that the human body, like the cosmos itself, is not a static entity, a fixed and immutable form, but a dynamic and ever-changing process, a swirling vortex of energy and consciousness, a constant interplay of forces and energies that can be shaped and refined through conscious effort, through the alchemical marriage of intention, breath, movement, and mindful awareness. And they saw diet, breath, and movement not just as mundane means of survival or routine physical exercise, but as sacred and potent tools for influencing this inner alchemy, for transmuting the raw materials of their being, for transforming the quality of their tissues from dense and stagnant to supple and vibrant, and for optimizing the flow of Qi through the intricate and ever-adapting fascial web, the living matrix that connects and informs every aspect of your existence. They recognized that what you ingest, what you choose to consume and assimilate, becomes far more than just fuel to be burned for energy. It becomes the very building blocks of your being, the raw material from which your cells, your tissues, your bones, and your very consciousness are constructed. Food, to the Taoists, was not merely a source of calories, but a profound source of information, a carrier of subtle energies and vibrations that interact with your own internal environment, shaping your physiology, your emotions, and your spiritual state. They emphasized a diet that was in harmony with the rhythms of nature, fresh, whole, and unprocessed, believing that food should nourish not only the physical body, providing it with the essential nutrients it needs to thrive, but also the spirit, the subtle energy that animates you and connects you to the Tao. They saw a direct and intimate connection between the quality of the food you eat, its vitality, its purity, its energetic resonance, and the quality of your blood, the very river of life that nourishes every cell, the health of your organs, the powerhouses of your inner ecosystem, the resilience of your tissues, the structural foundation of your form, and ultimately, the health and vitality of your fascia, that ubiquitous web that binds it all together. A diet rich in vibrant, living foods, bursting with Qi and life force, they believed would create a body that was supple, resilient, and capable of conducting Qi with optimal efficiency, a body that could move with grace, adapt to change, and heal itself with remarkable speed, a body that mirrored the harmonious flow of the cosmos. This is not unlike the life cycle of a star I have observed. It is born from cosmic dust, from the remnants of dying stars, and it is the quality of this dust and gas, its density, its composition, its energetic charge that will ultimately determine the star's life cycle, its luminosity, its longevity, and its ultimate fate. Breath, to the Taoists, was far more than just the mechanical exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, the simple act of inhaling and exhaling that sustains your physical existence. It was the very bridge between the inner and outer worlds, the primary means by which you absorb and circulate Qi, the vital energy that connects you to the universe. They developed sophisticated breathing techniques, known as Qigong breathing, to purify not only the blood, removing toxins and metabolic waste, but also the mind, calming the incessant chatter of thoughts and emotions, and regulating the flow of energy throughout the entire body, from the deepest organs to the most superficial layers of fascia. Deep, slow, and mindful breathing, they believed, could massage the internal organs, stimulating their function and releasing tension. Release tension in the fascia, dissolving adhesions and restrictions that impede the flow of qi, and open the meridians, those subtle channels that carry energy and information throughout your being, allowing qi to flow freely and nourish every cell, every tissue, every aspect of your existence. They understood that breath was intimately connected to the nervous system, the intricate network that governs your thoughts, feelings, and sensations, to the emotions, those powerful currents that shape your experience of reality, and to the state of consciousness itself, your awareness of being alive in this vast and wondrous universe. And they recognized that by consciously controlling the breath, by mastering its rhythm, its depth, and its quality, you could gain mastery over your inner world, regulating your emotions, focusing your mind, and ultimately transcending the limitations of your physical form. Movement for the Taoists was not about brute strength, the display of physical prowess, or the pursuit of fleeting athletic achievements, but about cultivating fluidity, flexibility, and effortless power, about moving in harmony with the natural rhythms of the universe. Practices like Tai Chi and Qigong, with their slow, graceful, and flowing movements, were not seen as mere exercise routines, but as moving meditations, as embodied prayers, as a way of attuning oneself to the subtle energies of the cosmos, of mimicking the natural rhythms of the universe, the ebb and flow of the tides, the swaying of trees in the wind, the meandering course of a river, the graceful dance of celestial bodies across the night sky. These movements, they believed, could gently stretch and release the fascia, dissolving adhesions and blockages that restrict movement and impede the flow of qi, and restoring its natural elasticity, its inherent capacity to expand, contract, and adapt to the ever-changing forces of life. The Taoists developed a concept they called softening and yielding Ru and Shun, which is central to their approach to movement, to healing, and to the entire process of inner alchemy. Softening does not mean weakness or collapse, a giving in to inertia or a loss of power. It means releasing unnecessary tension, letting go of rigidity, both physical and mental, and cultivating a state of relaxed awareness, a quiet and receptive presence that allows you to move with greater efficiency and grace. Yielding does not mean giving up or surrendering to external forces, a passive acceptance of whatever comes your way. It means aligning with the flow of energy, redirecting force rather than resisting it, finding power in fluidity, and adapting to change with intelligence and resilience. This concept of softening and yielding resonates deeply with what you are now discovering about fascial release, about the importance of gentle, mindful, and non-forceful approaches to restoring its health and vitality. When fascia is tight and restricted, bound by adhesions and scar tissue, it becomes brittle and resistant to movement, hindering the flow of qi, limiting your physical and energetic potential, and creating a fertile ground for pain, inflammation, and disease. But when fascia is soft and supple, when it can yield to the forces of gravity and movement, when it is hydrated, elastic, and free from restrictions, it becomes more resilient, more adaptable, and more capable of transmitting energy and information efficiently, allowing you to move with greater freedom, to breathe with greater ease, and to experience a deeper sense of connection to your body and to this process of softening and yielding is not about forcing or pushing, about aggressively manipulating the tissues or trying to impose your will upon the body. It is about listening to the body's subtle signals, about meeting resistance with awareness, compassion, and acceptance, and about gradually coaxing the fascia to release its grip, to unwind its tensions, and to return to its natural state of fluidity and flow. I have observed ancient Taoist masters, their movements seemingly effortless, their bodies fluid and strong, their energy radiant and boundless, their spirits serene and unperturbed. They did not appear to exert tremendous force, to strain or struggle in any way, yet they possessed an almost supernatural power, able to redirect the energy of an opponent with a touch, to move with the grace of a mountain stream, to adapt to any situation with effortless ease, and to maintain their vitality and longevity well beyond what your modern understanding deems possible. They were living embodiments of this inner alchemy, their bodies and minds transformed by years of dedicated practice, by a deep and unwavering commitment to the principles of softening and yielding. These masters, in a way, resemble ancient stars, those celestial beings that have gone supernova, that have undergone a profound transformation, and can live for millions, even billions of years, radiating light and energy with a seemingly inexhaustible power, appearing almost immortal to your fleeting human senses. Their secret, as far as I can discern, lay not in any mystical powers or superhuman abilities, in any esoteric knowledge or secret techniques, but in their deep and unwavering understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, their profound respect for the wisdom of the body, their unwavering commitment to cultivating the flow of ki through breath, movement, and mindful presence, and their mastery of the art of softening and yielding, of aligning themselves with the natural rhythms of the universe. They understood that true power comes not from force, from the exertion of will, or from the rigid control of the external world, but from alignment, from harmonizing with the subtle energies that permeate all of existence, from surrendering to the Tao, and from allowing the innate wisdom of the body, that ancient and timeless intelligence, to guide their actions, their movements, and their very lives. Zoran's quote, "True power lies not in rigid control, but in fluid adaptation." The alchemist of the body learns to soften, to yield, to transform the very fabric of being the flesh, the bones, the breath, the mind, the spirit through the conscious cultivation of breath, movement, and mindful presence. Like the cosmos itself, which is in a constant state of flux, of creation and destruction, of expansion and contraction, you are not a static product, a fixed and finished entity, but a dynamic and ever-evolving process, a river of energy and consciousness flowing through time. And your fascia, this living web that connects you to yourself and to the universe, is the crucible of that transformation, the vessel in which this alchemical process unfolds. Zoran's trial 2, the softening breath. This exercise is expanded to more fully explore the concept of softening and yielding, using breath, mindful movement, and visualization to release tension in the fascia and cultivate a state of relaxed awareness, and find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, in a space that is quiet, peaceful, and free from distractions. Allow your body to settle, to release any unnecessary tension, and to find a posture that feels both grounded and open. Begin by bringing your awareness to your breath, noticing the natural rhythm of inhalation and exhalation, without trying to change it in any way. Simply observe the flow of your breath, the gentle rise and fall of your chest and abdomen, the subtle sensations of air moving in and out of your nostrils. As you breathe, become aware of any areas of tension in your body, any places where you feel tightness, constriction, or holding. You might notice tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your neck, your chest, your abdomen, your lower back, your hips, or even in your hands and feet. Acknowledge these areas of tension without judgment, simply observing them with curiosity and acceptance. With each inhalation, imagine that you are sending your breath directly to these areas of tension, flooding them with a sense of warmth, spaciousness, and release. Visualize your breath as a gentle wave, washing over the tense muscles and fascia, softening them, and creating space for them to unwind. With each exhalation, imagine that you are gently letting go of the tension, allowing it to dissolve and dissipate like mist in the morning sun, like a heavy burden being lifted from your shoulders. As you continue to breathe, expanding and deepening the rhythm of your breath, begin to incorporate gentle, mindful movement. If you are sitting, you might sway your torso slightly from side to side, or rotate your shoulders in slow, circular motions, or gently move your head and neck, releasing any stiffness. If you are lying down, you might gently rock your pelvis, or stretch your arms overhead, or slowly rotate your ankles and wrists. As you move, focus your awareness on the sensation of softening and yielding. Instead of forcing or pushing the movement, allow your body to be guided by the breath and meet any resistance with awareness and acceptance. Imagine that you are a willow tree bending in the wind, allowing the force of the wind to pass through you without breaking, adapting to its flow with grace and resilience. Feel your muscles and fascia softening around the bones, releasing their grip and allowing your movements to become more fluid and effortless. Continue this practice for 15-20 minutes, exploring different movements and focusing on the sensation of softening and yielding in different parts of your body. You might experiment with different rhythms, different speeds, and different ranges of motion, always paying attention to the feedback from your body and allowing it to guide you. When you are finished, take a few moments to integrate the experience, to gently bring your awareness back to the present moment, noticing how your body feels, how your breath flows, and how your mind is, whether it is more relaxed, more open, more at peace.